Now we're talking about how can we digitalize our supply chain. You know, the supply chain means from the suppliers, okay, to the factory to the wholesales and to the retailers, right? To the retailers, okay. You know what kind of amount we should order from our suppliers, how many quantity of our outputs we should produce, okay, and we should how much amount we should deliver to the different warehouse, to the different house and to the different retailers, okay. We should always use the big data analysis, to using the big data to do the analysis and to build up the modelings, okay, and then to have a real-time control. And gradually we have to learn in and adapted, okay, algorithms, okay, to learn, okay, now from the learning from doings, okay, so then we can much more accurately in the future, okay. So you know, plan, source, make, deliver, they should be linked by the big data analysis and the optimizations and the simulations, and also they constantly have the data interchanges, okay, within the systems. So the essence of the digitalized supply chain is the e-data interchanged. So this is what digitalization supply chain is about. Okay. Now we can talking about the Apple's supply chain. How can it impact and responded to during the pandemics? Okay. And this is Apple's supply chain. I showed it before. The Apple supply chain, you can see this is highly concentrated in China. China is almost its sole production base, not only for iPhone but also the iPad and the MacBook. They are all assembly and manufactured in China. So all kind of different parts, okay, they are concentrated in China, manufactured in China, finished in China, then delivered to the different warehouses and to the different distribution systems and then to the customers. Okay, that was the Apple's supply chain. Okay, but how about the Apple supply chains? Okay, during the pandemics, you know this kind of Apple supply chain. Of course, we should say they have some advantages. Okay, for example, they are fixed. So, such as Apple has a very strong long-term relationship with the Foxconn. The Foxconn for the iPhone, Pegatron for the iPad, and the Quantum computers for the MacBooks. Okay, Apple has a very strong supplier relationship. Focus on maintaining the strong relationship with the supply chain, okay, partners, okay, within the systems. And also, its strategic inventory management is trying to minimize the inventories. And also they have a very good inventory tracking mechanisms. But however, as you know that, how about once there is the impact of the coronavirus to Apple, the shortages of the air and the sea transportation options, okay, make it more difficult for factory to purchase its key components, right? Okay, so there may be the first impacts, okay, for Apple. And the second one is declining productions, because the supply chain has been disrupted. So the whole manufacture has to be slowed down. So therefore, the declining productions means Apple's deliver backlogs will take time to resolve. There is a problem for that. There is a shortages in their demands. Okay, if the parts are to pass through the system steadily, it takes months for the manufacturer and testings. So the company must build our inventory for at least a few months. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, there are the parts problem, there are the testing problems, there are the transportation problems, there are the production problems. Okay, for the Apple. Okay, in the systems. Apple, how can Apple respond to the coronavirus? Okay, you know, coronavirus for Apple. So now Apple is the direct to its key partner companies to ask them to have the second production or the third production base in different countries. So therefore, if one factory is closed, then the production can be transferred to another. And Apple's supplier, that is Foxconn, announced in the last year, July, that it planned to invest $1 billion in India as a part of Apple's quiet and gradual shift of production from China. Okay, that's why I say China plus one. We should have at least one alternative production base outside China. Okay, so this is also the Apple's responses. Okay, and also the Apple is also required for the safety production for the environment. All the public area should use the personal protective equipment, and also the floor plan of the factory was changed, and the flexible working hours and the staggered work shift were implemented to allow workers to maximize the space for the interpersonal relationship. Okay, so this is for the safety productions measure. How about the current status of the Apple's supply chains? Okay, Apple's supply chain and the production have now returned to the level before the outbreak. So that means they have a very quick resilience after the outbreaks, after the pandemic outbreaks. So according to this, the theory and the cases, it perfectly fit the evolutions of the supply chain management. Okay, in the 1950 to 60s, okay, is a traditional mass manufacturing. It becomes inventory management and cost optimizations. Okay, so we have a sort of evolving integrations. We try to evolving our supply chain from the fragmented supply chain. Okay. In the 1990s and the year 2000s, the supply chain management formations, okay, including the just-in-time, TQN, BPR, okay, BPR Alliance, okay, and they are the SCM extensions. But moving on to the year 2010, there is the next generation of the supply chain that was called digitalizations. Okay, the outbreak of the pandemics. Okay, actually it facilitates and speed up. Okay, the digitalizations of the supply chain. Okay, so that is what is really going on in the meantime.